ambassador of the West African Alliance on Carbon Market and Climate Finance. He is recognized for transforming EPA and elevating Liberia's visibility in international environmental governance. With a PhD in environmental science from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, Dr. Ure combines strong academic expertise with practical leadership. Please welcome Dr. Ure.
Thank you very much. After this, I'll spend a little bit of time. If I don't end, please forgive me because I'm dealing with a lot of issues now. But it was important to come here because what we discuss here today is very important. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, colleagues in the climate justice movement, ladies and gentlemen. It is both an honor and a profound responsibility to stand before you today at this pivotal second Africa Climate Summit in Addis Ababa. I extend my solidarity with the Africa Climate Platform and all civil society organizations, legal experts, and climate defenders who have tirelessly championed the cause of climate justice across the continent. We meet here today not to debate a policy, but to reaffirm a truth. The people of Africa need development. They need schools where their children can learn, safe drinking water that sustain life, farm-to-market roads that connect farmers to opportunity, and decent jobs that provide dignity. What Africans reject is development model that funnel money into the pocket of a few while leaving the majority impoverished and our environment degraded. But development that promotes injustice and undermines life and livelihood of our people is just one aspect of the story. Climate change is another. And let me turn to that for a moment. Africa stands at the epicenter of grave injustice. Although our continent contributes less than 4% of the global greenhouse gas emission, we suffer the hardest consequences of climate crisis, from devastating droughts in the Horn of Africa to coastal erosion swallowing communities in West Africa. The consequences are relentless and escalating. In Liberia, our pharmacy harvest declined. Our biodiversity is under threat, and our coastal residents are being displaced, all while we still grapple with energy poverty and unfinished tasks of nation building. Fellow global citizens, this is not just an environmental issue. It is a human rights crisis. The right to life, health, and food, water, and dignity enshrined in the African Charter for human and people's rights are being systematically undermined by a crisis we Africans did not create. Yet our voices are still marginalized in global negotiations, and our demand for justice, accountability, and equitable financing too often ignored. That has to change, and that change must start with Africa and Africans themselves. This is why the Africa Climate Platform request for advisory opinion from the African Court on Human and People's Rights is so important. This initiative, advised by the Pan-African Lawyers Union, supported by civil society across the continent, asks the court to interpret key regional agreements, including the African Charter, the Maputo Protocol, and the Kampala Convention. The court is asked to give its opinion in the context of climate change. It calls for clarity on state duties to mitigate emissions, to protect environmental defenders, and to ensure a just transition, and to hold corporations accountable for the destruction they create. It recognizes that women and children, indigenous people, and future generations bear the heaviest burdens of the negative impact of climate change. At its heart, this request is not anti-development or anti-investment. On the contrary, it insists on a development pathway that places people at the center, a pathway that ensures corporations cannot enrich themselves while polluting rivers, destroying forests, or displacing communities. It demands a model of growth where justice and dignity guard every investment, every project, and every policy. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the court opinion can be a beacon of clarity and justice. It can affirm that Africa will not be a dumping ground for dirty industries. No, it's, yes, dirty industries, I can repeat that. The court can affirm that Africa will not be a dumping ground for dirty industry, nor a stage where wealth is extracted without accountability. Instead, it can guide us towards a future where our children inherit not just a livable planet, but a continent of opportunity. Let us therefore unite behind this call, because development and justice must walk hand in hand. Africa needs climate action. Africans need development, yes. But more than that, Africa needs fairness. Africa needs dignity. And Africa needs a future where no one is left behind. Let me close by saying climate justice is people's justice, and Africa depends on it. Thank you.